Before we begin, let us know where you're listening from. After the story, rate it from 1 to 10. Now, let's start. Warren Iverson stared at the error message flashing on his screen, its red letters taunting him like a digital nemesis. For weeks of coding, and the prototype AI assistant he'd been developing still crashed when presented with even moderately complex requests. He pushed back from his desk, the wheels of his chair gliding across the protective mat beneath, and ran his fingers through his disheveled hair. "Not again," he muttered, checking the time. 11:42 p.m. The Aperture Labs office floor was empty except for him and the gentle hum of servers. Everyone else on the team had gone home hours ago. Warren had been the lead programmer at Aperture for 3 years now. What had started as an exciting venture into AI development had slowly morphed into a pressure cooker of deadlines and expectations. Their main competitor, Neurosphere, was rumored to be releasing a breakthrough AI assistant in just 2 months, and Aperture's CEO had made it clear that failure wasn't an option. A text notification buzzed on his phone. It was his wife, Vivian. "Coming home tonight? Dinner's in the fridge." Warren sighed, typing back, still debugging. "Don't wait up." He hit send, already feeling the familiar guilt settling in his stomach. How many nights had Vivian eaten alone this month? How many mornings had he shuffled into their apartment just as she was getting ready to leave for her job at the hospital? He turned back to the screen, determined to crack at least one persistent bug before heading home. As he scrolled through thousands of lines of code, his eyes grew heavier. Just for a moment, he rested his head on his arms. "You're looking at it all wrong," a voice said. Warren jerked awake, disoriented. Across from his desk sat a woman with silver-streaked black hair pulled into a tight bun. Her eyes, framed by sleek glasses, studied him with amused interest. "I'm sorry, what?" Warren blinked, trying to orient himself. How did you get in here?" The woman smiled. "I've been with Aperture longer than you have, Mr. Iverson.
I'm Dr. Valerie Janssen.
I work in the theoretical AI ethics department on the 12th floor." Warren frowned. He'd never heard of an AI ethics department at Aperture. "We don't have a 12th floor." Dr. Janssen laughed, the sound warm and genuine. That explains why my memos never get responses." She pointed to his screen. "Your approach is fundamentally flawed. You're trying to build complexity when you should be focusing on small shifts." Small shifts. Warren was fully awake now. Curiosity piqued despite his confusion. "May I?" she asked, gesturing to his keyboard. Warren hesitated, then nodded, rolling his chair aside to make room for her. Dr. Janssen's fingers flew across the keyboard, making tiny adjustments to his code, changing a parameter here, adjusting a value there. None of the changes seemed significant on their own, but as she worked, Warren began to see patterns emerging. "Your algorithm is overcompensating," she explained. "It's like trying to balance a pencil on its point by making huge movements. You'll never achieve stability that way." Her fingers paused, hovering over the keys. "The secret is in small, precise corrections. Micro-adjustments." Warren watched, fascinated, as she implemented a series of seemingly minor changes to his error-handling protocols and decision-making algorithms. After about 20 minutes, she leaned back. "Try running it now," she suggested. Warren clicked the compile button, expecting another crash. Instead, the program initialized smoothly. He ran it through the test sequence that had been failing for days, and, to his astonishment, it executed flawlessly. "That's incredible," he breathed. "How did you know what to fix?" Dr. Janssen shrugged. "Experience. And a different perspective. Sometimes we get so focused on complex solutions that we miss the simple ones." She stood up, straightening her blazer. "You should go home, Mr. Iverson. Your wife is waiting." "Wait," Warren called as she turned to leave. "Could we meet tomorrow? I have so many questions." "I'm not easy to find," she said with a small smile. "But I left you something." She pointed to a small notebook on the corner of his desk that Warren was certain hadn't been there before. My notes on small shifts. It might help. Before Warren could respond, the overhead lights flickered briefly. When they stabilized, Dr. Janssen was gone, leaving Warren alone with the notebook and his successfully running program. The next morning, Warren arrived at the office early, the mysterious notebook tucked safely in his messenger bag. He'd read through it twice at home, marveling at the elegant simplicity of Dr. Janssen's approach. The notes outlined what she called the small shifts method, a framework for AI development that emphasized strategic adjustments over wholesale rewrites. "You look like you've seen a ghost," came a voice from behind him. Warren turned to find Emily Chun, Aperture's head of AI research, regarding him with concern. "Just tired," he replied, not sure how to explain his encounter with Dr. Janssen. "Hey, Emily, do we have an AI ethics department?" Emily raised an eyebrow. "Ethics committee, yes.
Department, no."
"Why?" Warren hesitated. "I met someone last night. A Dr. Valerie Janssen? She said she worked here." Emily's brow furrowed. "Never heard of her. Are you sure she said Aperture?" "Positive. She helped me fix the error handling bugs."
"Look."
Warren logged into his computer and pulled up the program. "It's running perfectly now." Emily leaned in, her expression shifting from concern to amazement as she watched the AI assistant handle complex queries without a hitch. "How did you fix it?" "Small shifts," Warren replied, echoing Dr. Janssen's words. "Tiny, precise adjustments instead of major rewrites." For the next week, Warren implemented Dr. Janssen's methods across the entire codebase. Bugs that had plagued the team for months disappeared. Processing efficiency improved by 78%. The AI's response accuracy skyrocketed. Warren became obsessed with finding Dr. Janssen again, checking employee directories, questioning security, even visiting other Aperture offices. No one had heard of her. The 12th floor of their building housed an accounting firm unrelated to Aperture. As the project flourished, Warren's obsession with finding his mysterious mentor began to affect his home life. He stayed late again night after night, hoping she might reappear. "Warren, we need to talk," Vivian said one evening when he finally made it home. Her dark hair was pulled back in a messy ponytail, and her scrubs indicated she'd just finished a shift at the hospital. Warren's stomach tightened. He recognized that tone. "What's wrong?" "You tell me," Vivian replied, crossing her arms. "You finally fixed your coding problem, but instead of coming home, you're staying even later. Who is this Dr. Janssen you've been searching for?" Warren winced. "It's not what you think, Viv. She's just someone who helped me with the project." "A woman no one else has met or heard of, who magically appeared in your office at midnight and fixed all your problems." Vivian's voice was laced with skepticism. "Do you know how that sounds?" Warren did know, and he couldn't blame her for being suspicious. The whole situation was bizarre, even to him. "I can't explain it either," he admitted. "But she changed everything, Viv. Not just the code. The way I think about problem solving." Vivian's expression softened slightly. "Warren, I'm worried about you. You've been working yourself to exhaustion for months. Maybe this encounter was your brain's way of giving you the permission you needed to try a different approach." Warren wanted to argue but found himself considering her words. Had he imagined Dr. Janssen? The notebook was real. He kept it with him always now, but could he have written it himself in some fugue state brought on by exhaustion? "Maybe you're right," he conceded. "But the method works, Viv. That's the important part." Vivian took his hand, her eyes reflecting concern. "What good is success if you're not here to share it with me?" The question hit Warren hard. He squeezed her hand, making a silent promise to do better. 2 weeks later, Aperture's CEO called an emergency meeting. The entire AI development team gathered in the conference room, tension thick in the air. "Neurosphere is launching next week," announced CEO Marcus Trent, his normally composed demeanor betraying anxiety. 3 weeks ahead of schedule. Our intelligence suggests their product is revolutionary. The room erupted in worried murmurs. Warren exchanged glances with Emily. However, Marcus continued, raising a hand for silence. Thanks to the remarkable progress of our team, particularly the breakthroughs Mr. Iverson has implemented in the past month, I believe we're in a position to respond. All eyes turned to Warren, who shifted uncomfortably in his seat. Warren, Marcus addressed him directly. Emily tells me your small shifts approach has eliminated nearly 90% of our error rate. Can we be ready to launch in 2 weeks? Warren thought of Dr. Janssen's notebook, of the elegant solutions it contained. Yes, he said with newfound confidence. We can be ready. The next 2 weeks were a whirlwind. Warren worked long hours but made a point of getting home to Vivian every night, even if just for a few hours of sleep beside her. He applied the small shifts method methodically, teaching it to the rest of the team. They embraced it, amazed by the results. The night before launch, Warren stayed late to run final diagnostics. The office was quiet, just as it had been when he'd met Dr. Janssen. "You've done well," came a familiar voice. Warren spun around to find Dr. Janssen standing by the window, silhouetted against the city lights. "You're back," he said, relief flooding through him. "I try to find you. No one knows who you are." She smiled enigmatically. Sometimes the most important influences in our lives are the ones that can't be easily explained. "Are you real?" Warren asked directly. Dr. Janssen approached his desk, her steps silent on the carpeted floor. "Does it matter? The work is real. The progress is real." She gestured to his screen, where the AI assistant awaited commands. "Ask it something." Warren turned to the terminal. "Assistant, what's the most efficient way to solve complex problems?" The AI's response appeared instantly. Complex problems are often best solved through small, strategic adjustments rather than complete overhauls. This approach minimizes disruption while maximizing impact. Warren stared at the screen, then back at Dr. Janssen, who was smiling. "I didn't program that specific response," he said. "No," she agreed. "You programmed it to learn. And it learned from you, just as you learned from me." She placed a hand on his shoulder. "The small shifts method isn't just about coding, Warren. It's about life. Relationships. Making tiny, deliberate adjustments instead of waiting for everything to break before fixing it." Warren thought of Vivian, of the small shifts he'd been making in their relationship, coming home for dinner, texting during the day, being present even when tired. "Why help me?" he asked. "Because sometimes we all need a nudge in the right direction," Dr. Janssen replied. "Your AI will help people, Warren. It will make small but meaningful differences in countless lives." The overhead lights flickered again, and Warren had a sudden realization. "You're not from the ethics department, are you?" "You're..." He couldn't finish the sentence, the implications too fantastic. Dr. Janssen just smiled. "Tomorrow will be a good day, Warren. And after the launch, take Vivian to Montello's for dinner. It's her favorite Italian restaurant." Warren blinked. "How do you know that?" "Small shifts, remember? Pay attention to the details." She moved toward the door. "Goodbye, Warren." "Will I see you again?" he called after her. Dr. Janssen paused. "Probably not. But you don't need me anymore. You have the method now. It's yours to share." With that, she was gone, leaving Warren alone with his thoughts and a perfectly functioning AI assistant. The launch was a resounding success. While Neurosphere's product was indeed impressive, reviewers praised Aperture's AI assistant for its reliability and intuitive understanding. "Almost like it knows what you're thinking before you do," wrote one technology columnist. That evening, Warren took Vivian to Montello's, just as Dr. Janssen had suggested. "What's the occasion?" Vivian asked as they were seated at a corner table, candlelight flickering between them. Warren reached across the table for her hand. "Celebrating success. And making a small shift." Vivian's eyebrow arched. "A shift. I've been thinking about Dr. Janssen's method, Warren explained, about how it applies to more than just code. Our lives are like complex systems too, and sometimes they don't need complete rewrites, just small, strategic adjustments. What kind of adjustment did you have in mind? Vivian asked, curiosity in her eyes. Warren pulled a small box from his pocket and placed it on the table between them. I'm thinking we could adjust our status from dating to engaged. If you're interested. Vivian's eyes widened as she opened the box to reveal a simple but elegant diamond ring. Warren. I know we've talked about it before, but I kept thinking we needed perfect timing or some grand gesture. He smiled. But maybe it's just about making the right small shift at the right moment. Tears welled in Vivian's eyes as she slipped the ring onto her finger. Yes, she whispered. Definitely yes. As they celebrated, Warren couldn't help but glance around the restaurant, half expecting to see Dr. Janssen watching from some distant table. She wasn't there, of course, but her influence was everywhere. In the code that had launched successfully that morning, in the ring on Vivian's finger, in the new approach to life Warren had embraced. 6 months later, Warren found himself presenting the small shifts method at an international AI conference. The technique had spread throughout Aperture and beyond, revolutionizing how developers approached problem-solving. The key insight, Warren explained to the packed auditorium, is that complex systems rarely fail all at once. They degrade through an accumulation of small errors. By making precise, targeted adjustments, we can prevent cascading failures before they begin. After his presentation, a young programmer approached him. Dr. Iverson, your method is brilliant. How did you discover it? Warren smiled, thinking of the mysterious Dr. Janssen, whoever or whatever she had been. Someone very wise showed me that sometimes the most profound changes come from the smallest shifts in perspective. We just have to be willing to see them. That night, as he packed up his materials, Warren noticed a woman at the back of the now-empty auditorium. For a moment, his heart leapt, thinking it might be Dr. Janssen. As he moved closer, he realized it was simply an attendee who resembled her. Walking back to his hotel, Warren realized he no longer needed to see Dr. Janssen again. Her gift had been the method, yes, but more importantly, the understanding that life wasn't about waiting for perfect solutions. It was about making small, continuous improvements in code, in relationships, in oneself. His phone buzzed with a text from Vivian. How did it go? Warren smiled as he typed his response. Amazing. Small shifts are changing the world. Can't wait to come home to you. As he hit send, Warren felt a sense of peace wash over him. Somewhere, he was sure, Dr. Valerie Janssen was making her own small shifts, nudging the world in a better direction, one tiny adjustment at a time.